Voices on the balcony as I wait for thee to come home.
thought that I knew best, but I didn't know you yet. I didn't know it then, but I wanted to. I didn't know what love was before. Yeah, it came and went, but it was never true. I didn't know what love was before you. Slow down.